Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. It is a lovely day.
It is actually. It's very warm here. Why does my character look like he's about to jump into combat?
I was wondering that because you were pointing that thing at me when I came in.
Oh. You were obviously a threat.
Like you would never even realize. Where are all the fish today? The fish are all like gone.
Where do we store
There are no
feathers?
fish.
There. Oh yeah, we gotta get Mr. Alert his Yagluth thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
What happened?
terribly
We found
dangerous.
Yagluth. So if you want to go and get him on the map, we can do that. There's a portal down there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, goodness.
Or we could wait and see if Daisy pops in.
Okay, well, let's see what you... Some... Sure, I guess.
Hmm. How's your week been, Mr. Alert?
No, it's been alright.
Yeah, I've been watching Nostalgia Nerd on YouTube. I love those videos.
Ah,
Been,
the days of Amiga.
Yeah. Actually, I couldn't believe the. I never actually saw one in real life, but the Amstrad CPC Plus. That was a really sleek-looking machine for its time, way ahead of its time. Came out in about 1990.
That was the same guy who did the little car, wasn't it?
No, that was Clive Sinclair.
Oh.
He was another guy that was way ahead of his time. He made the ZX Spectrum 48K. All the Sinclairs. Yeah, he was a bit like Elon Musk before his time. He's also famous for saying, if you look at what we did with so little in the 1980s, modern computers are such a waste of resources. Which is true.
Sad, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got a bunch of wood in me.
Food. Still carrying that thing around like you're ready to destroy somebody.
Yeah. But it's the only thing that works against dead skeetos. It's really good.
Actually, the hatchet works too. It's just you have to let him get a little closer.
And you have to be really accurate.
Hello.
Speak
Hello.
of the devil, and he shall appear. How are you, Daisy?
Ooh, I love it. I'm good, yeah. How are you all?
Sore.
Doing good.
Ah,
The side effects
yeah.
haven't kicked in yet, so
Yeah, hopefully they won't.
yeah. So, we were saying to Mr. Alert, we can go and get Yaglu, not kill him, but get you guys to get him on your maps, if you like.
Cool, yeah.
Location. Because location is everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna eat some. There we go.
Okay.
Right, munchies. Good.
No. Oh yeah, Yag base. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, we might as well all get it on our maps, just in case they introduce a big update with the spidery fellas, because our base is right in the middle of their territory.
Mm,
Guess eating is a good idea.
Yeah.
yeah.
5.
World save at 30.
It auto
hey.
saves.
Yeah.
Hey, Nicky. Ow! Dang it.
Dying
Okay.
is not. Dying is
Roommate
not
or
an
not, I'm not taking this. You die.
I can hear the locks.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's. Well, hopefully it's still daylight when we get out, because otherwise we'll have fuelings all over us. But it's not too far.
Ah,
Should we just wait
Are
for
we all
Mr.
together? Well, I see.
We're waiting for
Wait.
Mr. Alert.
Yeah,
Yep.
give
Well,
me a
waiting for
second.
Mr.
I'm
Light,
building
yeah.
the stairs. Alright,
Hey! You're not buying me beer. That's for only having decent loggers in your country.
Oh.
Alright.
I do like the frost though. It is quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
Best thing
cool
ever is
shield
having-
you have.
Yeah. It's the
Which-
first design on the list.
Oh, cool.
Alright, so.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I better put on my.
Yag?
What's it made out of,
red
Daisy?
spiral. Silver.
Ah.
Mhm.
Pull my bronze hat
Need
back
to
on.
upgrade to black metal.
Yeah, there are plenty of black metal scraps when you kill
Fuelings.
kill little fuelings, but
Oh, man.
unfortunately, you know, getting them back to a smelter is the difficulty.
Yeah.
Well, I'm quite lucky in my world. I've got quite a short path, really, back to main base. I just haven't got the smelter yet.
I haven't
that's
even hit
good.
the
Fast.
planes in my game yet. I just barely kicked the Elder's butt.
Oh no, did it turn to night already?
No, because it's always night in here. Oh wait, are we?
No, it looks like night.
Oh no
Is
no
it
no!
night?
We don't.
No, it's,
No, I don't want to go out
Oh.
the plains at night. No, it's not night.
no, it's not. There it
just the
goes.
We have a
Mistlands.
mosquito.
Where?
Oh, where?
It's coming after Mr. Alert, I think.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Okay, well, at least it's close to the base.
There we go.
Okay.
Just wait for Mr. Alert.
Uh-oh.
Another one?
No fuelings. You can hear the fuelings from here. 'cause we're on
Yeah,
the
because
plain.
there's straight ahead of me. There's a big base.
Yeah.
I didn't bring any good arrows with me. I'll have
Oh,
to
really?
just switch to fire.
Oh, no, here,
Yeah.
here. There's at least 16.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't even bother with arrows because I am no good at arrows and fuelings.
I find the frost arrows are really good against them.
I haven't tried making those yet.
Yeah,
Try them, they're really good.
Yeah, or the needles.
Okay.
I've had a couple of occasions where I've had a pack of them coming at me and
There we go.
I've got away. Just because of the frost arrows slowing them
Oh,
down.
pack of fuelings coming at you?
Yeah.
Oh, they must be good if you're holding
Yeah.
off fuelings. Oh, it's
Yeah.
now turning to night. We do not want to be out here at night.
Well, Mr. Alert is
No, we
back. We
don't.
only have a small ways to go. Just to
Okay.
just to get it. They just have to click on the thing. Oh, I see a fueling.
Yeah, they always hang around the...
Okay,
There we go.
okay, let's run.
I'll go, yeah. I'll go behind Mr. Alert.
Okay.
Oh, got one falling behind us.
village.
Just keep running.
Oh, he's no, he's on you. Hang on.
Oh,
Yeah.
There you go.
there we go.
Good evening, Gunderstrack. Yeah, we're alive, just about. Actually, we only just got back half an hour ago, so the side effects won't kick in for a few hours yet.
Looking forward to lasagna for dinner, though, because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
my treat.
We're getting close to that base.
Yeah, it's a big fueling base. But we're almost there. It's just around the other side. Oh no, we came to the wrong place. This is where Yagluth is, but we need to
Oh.
go to the other one.
Ah,
All right, okay, let's go.
Well, do you want to mark this?
well, that's this. They
Okay.
aren't.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
You can put it on your. You can manually put it on your map.
Yeah. Let's go back. Sorry, my fault. Yeah, it's the plains base we need to go to.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Got some good food there.
Cool.
There's a fire fueling there.
Yeah.
We're almost back. Whoa, that's Skeeto. Here he comes.
Good shot.
Okay. Okay, let's get back into the safety of giant spider webs.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Wonder how much of this wood you can actually procure.
I tried cutting it, but my equipment won't touch it.
I'll tell you what though, if you need ancient wood for anything, this is the place to come. It's all ancient wood.
Oh.
Or ancient bark, that stuff.
Okay, where are we going?
It's over this side.
You don't remember?
There's the elder base. I think it's either the one just before the elder base. No, it's not.
This happened last time too.
Yeah, it's this one. Right here.
Okay.
The one that's right on the coast where we first landed.
Portal 4?
Holy moly, look at all the things outside. Yeah. Okay. There's a whole bunch of gold down there, if anybody wants it.
No, I'm trying to avoid carrying stuff.
Oh, okay.
I've ended up with black metal scrap on me. Great.
Okay. You lead.
Okay. Spaghetti ice cream, going to track.
Is that a fueling? Oh, fueling.
Where? Oh,
He's coming for us.
Whoa, he took me down to 34.
yeah,
It's dangerous
wow.
out here.
it is. It's just a bit over this hill.
Yeah, you're gonna get us all killed.
Probably. It's normally fairly quiet though, apart from dead skeetos, and they're easy enough to put down.
Yeah.
Still, 48.
Oh, you have good food on you, right?
Well, I've already eaten good food, but one hit from that fueling took me down to 35.
Do you want a stamina potion?
Not stamina I need, it's health.
Okay.
Oh, we have another fueling on us. Behind us.
Great.
Whoa.
And
Fueling.
oh, I got them. I got the Desquito.
Okay. Excellent.
Nerve-wracking.
It is. I came out here by myself. It was really nerve-wracking. Watch out for those locks.
The
It
amount of
is.
swearing that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice little stone building there that could be built up, I guess. Don't need
Boy,
it
the
though.
maintenance guy upstairs can drive you nuts.
Yeah, there's someone up there thumping around.
Yeah, they're replacing equipment, getting ready for
Yeah.
tenant.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Hello, Lox. I do not need to pet you today.
No, no. Oh, whoa, whoa, that skeeto. Can we avoid him? Oh, here he comes.
Oh,
Got him. There's another. Oh, is that second one coming at us? No.
I don't
Keep an
know.
eye on
I
him.
didn't even see the first one. Careful, don't attract the Lox.
Yeah, I know. Watch out. I don't think he's on us. He's on us. Watch out. Got him.
Oop.
Okay.
Oh, the falling's on us now as well, I think.
Where is he?
Oh, no, no, I think he's given up.
Nope,
alright.
nope, he's
No,
coming.
no,
he's coming.
he's on us.
oh, jeez.
Oh. Got him.
Goodness track, we are going to get Mr. Alert and Daisy the marker for
The next boss.
for the
Yeah.
next boss.
Yeah,
Yagluth.
Yagluth.
There's giant fuelings, 3 of them, at the spot, by the way. I just thought I should tell you just before we arrived there.
What? I thought we killed them all.
We
Wait,
did,
they
but
respawn
surely.
that fast?
Oh well, maybe not, yeah, because we haven't been on the server, I guess. So we
Scare
might
me
be
the-
lucky. We might be lucky. There's a fueling base down there. There it is. See the stones?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. And those
Sweet.
giant fuelings, those are. We need to kill another 3 of them or 2 of them at least, because you get their trophies, and that's how you summon Yagli.
Ah, shoot!
Watch out! You got him.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, did you both click on it?
I got it.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's head back.
All I got was a Grey Dwarf Shaman trophy.
Yeah.
I thought for sure I was going to get those.
Um,
I guess they don't drop them every time.
yeah, maybe not. So we'll have to kill a bunch of those giant viewlings, and they're huge and they're really tough.
They are. They whooped me.
Yeah, they did me as well.
Ah, daylight. Nearly.
Yeah, almost. No, I couldn't get it to work. It was kind of working, but it was very glitchy, so I'll have to look into it some more.
Nice.
Have any of you guys played Elder Scrolls Online on Linux?
No.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, we need to head more back up over this hill. Oh yeah, there's the stone building.
Is there anything in?
Looks like a temple, doesn't
It
it?
It does, doesn't
does.
it?
Here?
Yeah.
Almost like a Minecraft temple.
Dandelions, wood, resin, Grey Dwarf eye, and a stone.
Ah.
Well, that's a good find. Okay. Yeah, and those big giant fuelings will either have to go back out to that place and hope they repopped, or raid some fueling camps, and that's going to be tough.
Well, if we build platforms.
Whose corpse is that out there?
Watch out!
Mears.
Mosquito. Mears. Someone should take a screenshot of that.
Watch out for the locks.
Yeah, we can go around.
That mosquito's gonna come for us. No, it's not. Alright.
Oh, is that the fueling camp over this one?
Oh yeah, to the... No, straight ahead of us is our place.
Yeah, but there's a fueling camp right there. That place is full of them. And there's probably a couple of giant fellas in there. Yeah, watch out for the locks.
Mosquito up there.
Okay,
Got
got
it.
it. Yep, Mir's been dead the whole time. We just left him there. We thought he'd appreciate, you know, being out in a nice peaceful plains.
Oh, fueling on us.
Okay.
Tin.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done my, I haven't done a garden there. I really should do a state garden around a bunch of cloudberries.
Oh my god, Mir's been raised by the fuelings. Okay.
I heard a death skeeto, but I don't see it.
Oh, there's loads of them out here.
Goodness. Ooh, cloudberries.
Cool. Well, I hope it works out for you. You get the new wheels or whatever you were getting. Tires.
Right. Now we just need to kill about 30 to 50 locks. I wish I were joking. I wish I were joking.
But do we need more locks? I guess.
Food. We always need blocks for food.
Oh yeah. World save
Yep.
on 30. That's new, that notification popping up in the middle of the screen about the world save.
That was there last time.
Yeah, but I think it was introduced in like the last update or something.
Ooh, mushrooms. Mushroom.
Shall we kill some locks?
Might as well.
One closest to us?
Yep.
Ah, it's unusual for them to run away.
That is unusual, yeah. Normally they go straight for you.
Oh,
Oh,
now he's angry.
Whoa, that's
Oh,
Speedo.
death skeeto.
oh. Is it coming for me?
Got him.
Go.
Ah,
Ooh, he knocked me down to 56.
yeah, he did.
Okay.
Right, next.
Neat. 8. He's really shy.
Oh, I can't aim the axe down.
Wow. Got some powerful stuff there.
I gotta try to.
Is that the poison bow you have? The
Yes.
that's cool looking.
It is.
Next one?
Yeah.
Ah. Of course I died because
Oh, never.
I couldn't get my finger on the shift button fast enough.
There we go. Okay, we'll wait for you. Better get ready for more dead skeetos.
Yeah. There's one over there. Oh, I'm onto wooden arrows now. I better switch back to something else.
Yeah, I still have needles.
Got it.
Oh, is it a dead skeeto?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
cool.
feel
Good shot.
slow. Like my reactions aren't as fast as they normally are.
Well, you know, we haven't been in here for like a week or so, so.
Yeah, and I've been playing Farming Simulator 19.
Yeah.
I love that game. Love it.
It looks really cool. I'm looking forward to you streaming that if you decide to.
Oh, another death skeeto.
Huh? Oh yeah, I see.
Meat.
Hey.
These Atgear things are amazing against dead skeetos.
They are. I really like them. Rain.
Yeah,
Oh,
it does
lovely.
mirror. You definitely feel a little bit spacey after it. I'm not too bad now at the moment. But he said just wait until tonight and you'll be feeling it alright. I think there's another bunch.
I can
Could
hear
hear
them,
some,
but I
yeah.
can't see them.
I think they're up above the farm.
Oh, here they are. There's one here.
Oh yeah.
I think I hear some more over in that direction somewhere.
Oh, I think he made a mess up there. He's got a vacuum on.
Watch out.
That's the freeze arrows.
Oh, those are really good.
Oh, there we go. Excellent.
Just in the nick of time.
Wow, I can carry a lot today.
Cool.
I wonder if he's got our light with him today.
For the back, he might. I hope so. We don't have to deal with that big loud buzzing all night.
I think I made my feelings on that subject quite clear to him though.
Yeah.
I wasn't
There we
rude.
go.
I wasn't rude. I'm never rude to the maintenance people. They don't need that kind of harassment. But I did beg.
Yeah.
So hopefully we won't get the fuelings.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Attention.
Because if we have
Oh, there we
feelings,
go, yeah.
I'm gonna
Let's
run.
let's get him now while he's walking towards us.
Ah! Why do you love me? Don't love me. Go away.
Okay. Oh yeah, all these trees are fine wood.
Do we need fine wood?
Next
Mir,
one.
did you need fine wood for something? I'm just gonna hide down here beneath this rock.
That was
yeah,
good.
there we go.
There you go. There's one more down here.
Excellent.
And a fueling.
May as well bring him towards. Oh yeah.
I'll try and pull him up here.
Just play hide in the trees. There it is. Excellent.
Okay.
So many cloudberries. We're gonna have tons of good food.
Yeah. Well, we'll need it.
Fire arrow in the tree.
Fire. Oh yeah.
Some fire arrows stick in the tree.
Yeah. Well, whenever you're available, Mir.
Oh, Deskito, ah!
Oh, bloody hell.
Oop,
Ooh.
Oh,
there we
there
go.
you go.
Nice.
Again, the different level thing.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, if you
21
need,
locks, 21 locks me. Thanks, guys.
yeah, and
Loads of locksmith.
there's tons
I've
of
got
cloud
9 on me
berries.
as well, so that's
Oh, yeah.
30.
Oh, sweet. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna make locksmeat pie out of in
Oh.
real life. Oh, perfect. Got it.
Cool.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Nice one.
And we've got a storm. Did you see the video we took yesterday, Mir?
I've got something preventing.
You got the black metal.
Oh yeah.
Black metal scrap. Here we go. Close the door.
Morlock's pelt.
Let's see.
I will put all the locks pelts in the one in the
With
Smelting-
all the troll
smelting
skin and
room.
stuff. Yeah.
for anybody to use. There. Oh, here we go.
There we go. Good afternoon, William. How you doing? I love that Skeeto trophy. Jeez, imagine if we'd something like that in real life. Okay, go check on the boat.
Barley. Tons of cloudberries.
Oh, it's really foggy.
Oh, you know what? I think I have to use cooked lox meat, don't I?
You'd have to look up the
Yes.
recipe. I think so.
Yes,
yeah.
for the pies. I think it was
boy.
one.
Well, that's gonna take forever.
Yeah. Where's it now? Barley Village.
Hi, William. It is a beautiful day out here.
It is. It's lovely.
Beautiful, beautiful. It was a very nice walk to and from the store to get our shots. I think.
Repair the longboat. Oh, it's foggy all over the place.
Going swimming.
Oh, it's okay. It's good.
Oh no, I need wood.
You need wood?
Not like we're short of that, huh?
Here, I've got wood in me.
That'll do. That'll do. Make sure the locksmith's the only
Yeah, Yagluth is... Yeah, he's
Log
way
on.
down south.
Is that Mir?
Must be.
Could be.
Yay.
Hey.
I hope you don't mind me just at least joining in chat.
No,
No.
not at all.
Okay. Awesome.
So,
Now
Okay.
the now a
Soreness is
question.
increasing.
I've
Question?
actually got a question for you.
uh-huh.
What beer would go well with Locke's pie?
Lox pie.
Oh,
well,
stout.
Lox seems like a very heavy.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what kind of meat to use for it. What kind of meat? Could you use a leg of lamb for
I'd
it?
No,
say...
bison.
It says
Bison.
I'd say beef. Marbled wagyu beef or
No,
something.
I'd go with
Yeah.
something
Oh,
a
yeah.
bit bigger and heavier, like bison or maybe
Yeah.
water buffalo.
Mm.
I'd say beer, either a stout porter or brown ale. Brown
I'd
ale
say
would
a
go
brown
good.
ale. I'd go
Stout.
with a brown ale
Yeah.
too. I don't think I'd go with a stout, unless you were using lamb, and then you cook the lamb in the stout.
Oh, yeah.
Cooking Locke's meat in the stout.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, you could do a leg of lamb, and cook it in the stout. Slow cook it in the stout, and then put it in the pie, with golden raspberries.
Yeah. That would work. That'd be
And of course,
delicious.
it's easy enough to get barley flour for the pie crust.
Oh, I gotta put those away.
I'd say a brown ale to drink with it. A brown ale would probably be good. I don't. A stout seems so heavy to have with such a
Yeah.
thick meal.
How about the serpent stew? What would you eat with that? Have you made any serpent stew?
Stew.
I have made snake stew.
Would it be like that, or would it be more like a eel? It'd be like
Eel
eel
pie.
Eel pie.
See, I wouldn't have beer at all with that. I'd have wine.
Yeah, or a light, like a Kolsch.
Yeah, kolsch with eel. That'd be good.
Yeah.
But a plain kolsch, not like my flavored kolsches.
Yeah, just a plain crisp one.
Oh goodness.
Oh, what's the other meat that is in the game? Blood pudding.
Oh yeah, blood pudding. Now we've had blood pudding.
Yeah, that's black pudding, basically.
That you could have stout with.
That you could have stout with, yeah.
That stands up really well to, like a good, rich, flavored stout.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Have you
Oh, I
ever
love
had blood
black pudding.
Have you ever had blood pudding, Mir?
I don't know. And Willie's asking if he can join us in voice chat.
Yeah, sure. Can he just join, or does he need an invite?
He's in the Discord server. So he should be able to join.
Is the live gaming chat locked?
Oh, it might be.
It might be.
I'm going to make myself some coffee to try to distract myself from my arm.
Oh, your arm's hurting?
Well, it's getting it's getting sore now.
Yeah. One of the tips that I was told after just recently is keep your arm moving. Like just do rotate it and just get the blood flowing in it, and that
It's a
should
good
help.
thing I'm a gamer.
No,
Yeah.
the movement that was recommended to me would be like a full rotation of the arm, kind of like you're stretching it.
Yeah, it does actually feel better when you stretch it. Isn't that,
Mhm.
that's so
Yeah.
weird when it feels better that you stretch it out? I'll be
I
right
guess
back.
Willie doesn't have access to the live gaming chat.
I just sent him an invite.
Like some?
Yeah. Oh, I love our new mugs, by the way.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. To celebrate SN15 landing.
Oh, I'm crippled.
Hold on. I can just. There we go.
Hey.
I just realized. Wait a minute. I'm an admin. I can just drag.
Yeah.
people.
Hello, William.
Since I'm not in game, I can moderate this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Jameer, and to Mr. Alert.
Ah, greetings, greetings.
Um,
Poor Daisy, you don't get any highs.
I don't get hello.
I'm so
I do
sorry.
enjoy watching y'all play Valheim since my computer is not fully. It's not like it's a computer with Intel HD graphics, but it isn't. It's on the motherboard built-in graphics. It's not like I can throw an external card in my computer,
yeah.
but my computer's wattage is like 200 and something watt.
Oh,
It's
okay.
one of those. Yeah, it's one of those Energy Star HP Pro Desk computers. It's meant to be energy efficient.
For something like that, if you have the ability to upgrade the graphics, something like the 1030, the NVIDIA GT 1030 does a good job with video decode, but it doesn't do video encode.
And the other slight disadvantage here is I'm using Linux, so there's another. Or I'm using slight disadvantage. They tend to use Linux too, so that's
Wait,
another.
That's a disadvantage?
Not a disadvantage. I'm not sure how Linux plays well with NVIDIA though.
It's pretty
perfectly
good.
fine. I'm
Yeah.
running
Works.
NVIDIA on the majority of my machines, so
I'm using a 1080 Ti.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
The old computer I had before I mentioned, I should have kept that one and put Linux to see how well it would play with the NVIDIA card that came stock from the factory that my family member made a loan payment on back in 2011 with the Windows 7 on it to see how well it played with it before I accidentally flashed a bad BIOS update and bricked it.
Ooh, that
Ooh.
does.
Yeah, that's what killed that machine right then and there, made it unbootable again. I
This tower
I
is
also
cool.
love to talk about beers. As much as I'm a diabetic, I can't really have beer at all again.
Yeah, because the sugars.
I'm not much
Yeah,
of a
that
beer
and my
fan. I'm more of
liver
a
can get
cider
harmed
person.
by.
I blame
can get
you,
kinda messed up.
Tux, and Sorceress Zero for getting me addicted to Two Towns.
The only beers I've enjoyed are mainly Bud Light, mainly the light beer, but I've had Captain Morgan, the stronger stuff, and boy, I threw it back up. And that didn't end well. My mom was very mad at me for throwing it all up.
I was
Yeah,
watching.
she already didn't really she basically didn't mind me doing it because I was already 21 anyway when I turned 21 in 2014. Strong stuff I had, it was in 2015, and boy, was it. So how is Linda?
Oh, I'm pretty good. My arm's a little sore, but I'm looking forward to my lasagna tonight.
Evan Williams, Counter-Strike.
Okay, sorry.
Good Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah, Che likes the Evan Williams.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Well, I'm currently just watching y'all game on Valheim.
The only whiskey I
Evan
care
Williams.
for,
Yeah, just take the and out and you've got it.
the only whiskey I really like is that I can get still in store is Kessler. It's the only one that
Kessler.
I'll bother with. It's a mixed whiskey.
Yeah, you guys
whiskey.
You're in California, so you can still buy whiskey in the stores, huh?
Yeah.
I'm in
Yeah.
Georgia, and I can still visit a package store or a convenience store that sells alcohol, but there are some the racetrack in my state, in my town, limits sales. I think they limit sales on a certain hours you can buy it, certain hours you can't. I'm not too
Oh.
sure. But I remember that one night when I went down to a racetrack late night, they had it where the alcohol section was unavailable late night. But I remember that at one point, but I don't really buy alcohol at all anymore because it's still taking diabetes stuff, so I can't. But
Yeah.
I cannot. I just know that there's restrictions on it in my state as well. Certain times you can't. I guess I'm not. I'm not a familiar person on when you can and can't buy alcohol. I know you can buy it as long as you're 21, but I know that there's certain restrictions, but
Thanks,
I don't
Mayor.
know which ones are
You're welcome.
around.
There's
Nice to meet you, Mir.
Also, some southern states have a restriction on the times that you can buy. Linux Skanuru, when he was in Arkansas, basically, I think it was like once it hit about 10 o'clock at night, alcohol, nope, you can't buy. And if I remember correctly, in his area, the sale of alcohol was banned on Sundays.
I know that I know you can't buy wine or beer here in the stores
2 a.m.,
unless
isn't it?
yeah, 2 a.m. Well, you can buy it from 7 a.m. until 2 a.m. Between 2 and 7, they can't sell any alcohol.
And-
So that's the
and
restriction.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
California has something very, very similar. I know that for sure.
And here you can only buy hard alcohol in liquor stores, not
State
can't buy
run
it in the-
liquor
yeah, you-
stores.
Yeah.
you can't. They have to be run by OLCC. You can't can't buy it in the supermarket.
My
Where
question is
Uh,
for
Elijah Craig
Mr.
Small Batch. I haven't had that one, Gunderstrack, so I don't know. It sounds nice, though.
My question for Mir or Mr. Alert is: doesn't California put a Proposition 65 warning on alcohol?
Everything in the state of
Probably.
California is known to cause cancer.
Including
Yeah.
water.
They put it on
Linda,
everything. It's-
you cause cancer. Damn you.
Yeah, where I'm at, I've seen some products that say cancer, reproductive harm, and where I'm at in Georgia too. So you ain't the only one who sees that warning somewhere.
Actually, the reason why the warnings exist pretty much everywhere is because of California, because we're such a large market.
I always
the
wanted
way,
to get a
Jay-
pair of sweat. I always
I
wanted to
mean,
get a pair of
why
sweatpants
bother?
with that on the back.
Why bother
I-
making
Oh,
multiple
that's
different
cool.
packages for multiple different states when you just have the warning everywhere? It's not like
Because it's
against
a
law to have the
state it's
warning
a
in
state
other
rule, not a
states.
federal rule.
Yeah.
It's state only, so I don't get why California needs to slap the cancer warning on everything there when
It
not
just
Because
everything-
they
makes
don't want to bother making different packages for
Yeah.
other states.
If you have to make only one package for an entire market, it's also the same reason why stuff sold here in the US sometimes has French writing on it, is because the stuff is also sold in Canada, and it's required by law because of, I believe, Quebec, that you
Yep.
have to have bilingual, both French and English.
Well,
And
that's what
why-
that's what they tell you, Mir. But in reality, we all know it's because Strider lives in California.
But the cancer warning does not apply in Canada at all. They never have a warning like that up there.
It's just easier and more cost effective to only make one package for an entire market region. So if the market region is the entire United States, it is easier and more cost effective to do that. The other example is soda cans. If you take a look at the top of your soda can, you'll see the CRV stuff for California, Maryland, and whatever. Why do that for the individuals? Why not just do that for the individual states? Well, it's cheaper to make one label for the entire United States market than to individualize. It's more cost effective.
So what are your thoughts on the roof, Daisy?
I'm thinking of doing stone for the floor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Someone sounds like they're from the UK.
Yeah,
be
yeah,
Daisy.
I am.
Got the,
What
I
happened
guess.
to the roof on the small bridge there? Or not the long one that's spanning across, but the one right next to the tower. Looks like something whacked the roof off that.
I know. I was wondering that as well.
Where is it? Oh yeah.
Have we had a troll attack?
I don't think so. I think that's just the way. Yeah, that's just the way it was built because it covers the fire.
No, I'm not talking. There, that one. The one going across the cavern, or not the cavern, but the dike.
Oh yeah, yeah. It looks like either it wasn't finished or.
So all y'all are running
no, it was
NVIDIA.
finished. It must have been
it's-
attacked.
yeah.
because I remember.
Most
Yeah,
oh yeah, I
must have
could
been a
figure
troll.
y'all running NVIDIA cards because Valheim runs smooth on all y'all's end on y'all's computers. But I'm noticing a frame performance problem on the video of Tux's stream I'm looking at right now. There's some kind of frame.
No, it's not limited to a graphics card. I'm running AMD when I'm on my system, and
I'm on
it's
AMD,
just-
yeah.
And I've had the same issue on NVIDIA as well, so it's actually a game optimization issue.
Game optimization issues because I'm seeing the frame rates go like fly
Yeah.
up and down all over the place on his end. I can see it runs buttery smooth. In some cases, I can notice the drops are like several frames at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a little unusual.
It's the game engine. It's not fully optimized yet.
Well, it hasn't been released either. I mean, it's still in
Yeah.
pre-release.
So it's still in development.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, early access.
Kind of reminds
Yeah.
me like Debbie and Sid, how it's still in development.
Well, Debian Sid is also just testing, so it's kind of more like what Factory is for OpenSUSE and
I'll go
I
get some
believe
stone.
Rawhide for Fedora.
Oh, me, I'm a person that tends to like to access distributions that have a development factory branch that has stuff constantly coming off the factory line to where it can break or where it can work. But I'm more concerned about the security updates, getting an update like in 24 hours without waiting several days for one to come in.
And that's where
Um,
OpenSUSE Tumbleweed is useful because before it gets pushed out, it actually goes through a QA process. So it goes through a QA and a security team before it gets pushed out. So that it irritates some people because they're like, oh, hey, GNOME 40 just came out. A new version of Pipewire came out. Why is it not in Tumbleweed now? It came out an hour ago. Why is it not there
wait.
now? First of all, it takes a while to QA. Second of all, it takes a while to build.
Yeah.
Okay.
My question for y'all is, which distribution are y'all using besides Linda and Tux for daily use?
I use multiple. I use OpenSUSE and Pop! OS though mainly.
I'm rolling with
I'm on
Debian
Pop! OS.
Sid, which is off. I'm rolling with it in a virtual machine in Windows. Y'all might be saying why I'm still using Windows to this day, but I'm kind of needing to be with Windows because some of my PC games are Windows DRM riddled, meaning some games from Origin by EA won't work. Certain games from EA Origin don't run on Linux at all, and I've tried Lutris with it, and it doesn't work. So
Yeah, no judgment. No judgment here. Everybody has,
So, the
everybody
only
has to make
thing-
their own decisions.
And I
Yeah.
have a Logitech
Oh, wow.
proprietary game board keyboard thing that needs Windows to run. I've got a Razer gaming mouse that has software that will work in Windows, let you change the LED lighting, button reassignments, and all
the
that.
Razer one might work with OpenRGB. As for your Logitech, depending on which one it is, if it's
Mine's a Logitech webcam, but mine's a Logitech G13 game board that is a left-handed
the
design.
G13 does have drivers that are available in Linux because I owned one. And
Oh,
I
I
did have
couldn't
it
figure out
working.
how to enable it completely in that.
Mhm.
I'm using UEFI Secure Boot, which kind of prevents loading of unsigned drivers, so oops. Y'all might be saying why I'm using the UEFI Secure Boot, just because
It's because of Windows. If you're dual booting,
yeah,
I understand.
it, I've dual booted Windows with Linux with UEFI enabled and it worked, but it accidentally caused an issue to where if Linux breaks, the UEFI Secure Boot, the refined one, the REFI or the refined one, if it breaks, it renders Windows and Linux both unbootable in the same system. So I kind of wanted to use Linux in a virtual machine to avoid boot breakages. If something did go wrong, it would lock me out of accessing the operating system by booting it. Like I didn't want to have it where if the boot stopped working, then I don't want to be left with the unbootable system.
In that case, you definitely want something like a stable distro that supports secure boot.
Debian
Uh,
is my favorite go-to because it can work with that.
it
I've had an
can,
Ace.
but also some distros like Ubuntu and
Pop.
definitely OpenSUSE. Yeah, Ubuntu and its spin-offs, and definitely OpenSUSE, and I believe Red Hat literally have the certificates from Microsoft for secure boot.
Yeah, I'm
So,
using an HP computer that has secure boot keys from HP custom keys. It has a key manager built in, so I can go in and change the keys or set custom keys. And enroll hashes. And my computer is a business desktop I got for $50 off of Macari that's been refurbished, renewed, and it has
mhm.
no cosmetic damage at all. It's like as if it was new. It came in its default box with the mouse and keyboard, power cord. I hooked a monitor to it, and I was off and running.
Oh, nice buy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes, it's $50. I ended up getting $100, so I was like, I'm gonna get that computer because I need a new machine now. I can't go without a computer for very long, and so I just got one. I did get an Acer computer. It's an Acer Iconia W510. It's a Windows 10. It was a Windows 8, Windows 10 machine. It had a Windows system. It had a system on a chip, but the processor was made by Samsung, but it was Intel. Don't ask why. The computer had 32-bit UEFI secure boot. Now that may seem a little odd, but I tried to boot Linux to it. The Linux 32-bit version of Debian would hang on it indefinitely. It wouldn't go past the boot screen. It would just lock
yeah,
up the entire tablet.
32-bit EFI is an unusual
Yeah,
configuration. It's not really
that
tested
computer.
that much.
I had made a video on my YouTube channel talking about how it has 32-bit UEFI secure boot there. It has that, but the BIOS is graphical based with the mouse cursor. But there's one slight mistake I did.
Does Windows even support 32-bit UEFI? I didn't think it did.
Well, this one I had.
It does, but Windows is weird with that. And the 32-bit EFI is not fully patched anymore, so any security vulnerabilities that pop up for 32-bit UEFI, good luck.
Yeah, I got rid of the computer shortly after because I realized it's an Acer computer that uses a weird iPad-like connector that requires an adapter. It did not come with an adapter, so I brought one off eBay sold separately.
Yes, Windows does, because one of the Microsoft Surfaces used a 32-bit EFI, and that was kind of the way they had security on it to prevent Windows or Linux from being installed, is because 64-bit system, 32-bit EFI, same issue that the first generation Intel Macs had.
Well, the Acer computer I had was a Samsung. It was a Intel processor, but it was Samsung who made chips, and it's a system on a chip after I tore it down, after I inadvertently cracked the touchscreen on it, after I had it outside one day. It was already used anyway with some cosmetic damage, but it slipped up my hand and hit the ground and broke the screen and the digitizer on it, and it still worked.
So
I'll
just
put-
the screen was Samsung, because it's probably not the board that was
The
made
screen
by
itself,
Samsung.
I couldn't tell who made the screen, but I knew the chips were made by Samsung because it had Samsung on the SSD flash chip. But I think the processor.
Samsung is a fab, so they make chips for other people. Like, for example, right now, they're the manufacturer of Intel graphics chips. So seeing the Samsung logo is not necessarily an indicator that it is a Samsung product. It just means Samsung was the fab that made the chips, but not the physical product itself. For example, I've also got Samsung RAM in my system, one of my systems, and I have a Samsung controller as well. So,
Oh, my other question for y'all is, so has Linux gone great for y'all recently? Like the great experience recently, or what's the ups and downs y'all had? Oof.
I think it's been great the last couple
Fine
of
with
years.
me, I haven't
Yeah.
had any significant issues.
Well, aside from Solus going over to GNOME and messing up my
It's a
interface.
huge improvement of what it used to be.
Oh yeah.
I am absolutely disliking the GNOME 40 interface.
Oh,
Yeah, Linda
I
hates
tried
it.
and
I'm like-
I just about lost my mind and went, nope, nope, nope.
Linux still works for me to this day, but I can no longer boot Knoppix on the computer I've got due to secure boot issues. So
Update the version of Canopix that you're running, because there was a new version of Canopix pushed out that fixes that issue.
I went to version 9.1 and I still couldn't get it to start.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
really, you should not be running Canopix as a daily driver. It's mostly designed as a live system and not as something to install on your system. And
Yeah, I
use.
use Linux as a live system instead of installing it permanently, just so I could put sensitive information in the live environment and then shut the computer down when I'm done. Like if I'm accessing personal information on like websites like shopping or something personal that I don't want to be saved in Windows, I want to run it in the live environment and then immediately power the computer off to clear the environment and it won't get recovered.
The other thing I do is if I'm forced to use Windows subsystem for Linux 2, I make sure that I have that installed on my Windows system.
I tried that before and I was like, I can't get any Linux GUI programs to start in a Windows
Well,
environment.
that's kind of the point up until recently, is there was no support for that. And if you had read up on that, it would have told you, hey, there's no GUI support. It supposedly works now. It was pushed in the April update, and it was talked about on Linux Weekly Daily Wednesday a while back. But supposedly, what you need is WSL2, and you need hardware virtualization like VTD and whatnot to enable it to be used. And supposedly it should just work out of box. I haven't fully tested it yet. I haven't installed a GUI app and executed it, but it is supposedly working now.
I managed to create my own Debian distro with
Right.
simple
BTD.
Linux script and command
Yeah.
line. That I did
AMD
make my
has
own
an equivalent to that. I don't remember
so-
exactly
Hey,
what it's
Daisy?
called.
Okay, so
Daisy, do you
think
need
PCI
anything?
passthrough for?
Oh, I need to repair my.
Yeah, Stone would be great.
Yeah.
Do you need stone or?
Yeah.
Yeah, loads
Okay,
of Stone.
about that, my distro was not intended for daily use because it's live only with no installation. That's what I kind of made it to be.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Lur. It's VTX that's required.
Oh, okay, so that's just regular virtualization.
Virtualization. Yeah.
CPU.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there,
Um,
if I remember correctly, there is an AMD equivalent because I had to set that up
oh,
on.
yeah.
Well, William, you're making Gundestrack hungry.
Sorry.
I'm not quite that paranoid with my personal information, though I do have full disk encryption on my laptop.
Sorry, Gun. I'm sorry I'm making you hungry.
Yeah, there was someone who popped into the OpenSUSE support channel and asked, "Hey, can I do full disk encryption on 2 drives but use the same password and only need to enter it once at
I've
boot?"
tried
And the answer
encryption with.
is yes from the OpenSUSE security team.
I did encryption with Windows 10. At one point, I enabled the bit locker where I encrypt the entire drive, and it needed the encryption key. And I was like, I don't really need my drive encrypted because I'm not storing anything sensitive. I don't need that for home use. I don't personally. I don't. I wouldn't mind having a file system that is inaccessible by a live environment, meaning if you boot a Linux DVD, the file system that's on the drive would be completely inaccessible from a live DVD. Like, you couldn't even see the drive there, literally.
Yeah, but that also has its own problems as well. So, for example, if
repairs.
something goes wrong and you need to do data recovery, if a live image can't see the drive or the partition, then you're not going to be able to recover it, even if you can unlock it. So, yeah, it's a game of how secure do you want it and how good do you want to be able to recover your data if something goes wrong.
Well, one thing is for sure. If you want to secure your computer, do not just beat it up and leave it out on the curb. That will not work.
Yeah.
Here's an example of me finding a computer with Minecraft server on it. Someone sought an old gateway computer with 2 DVD drives on it. The hard drive had Minecraft server related stuff, and it was using Knoppix or a form of Linux on it to run the Minecraft server on it. After I hooked the hard drive to my computer and saw what was in it, it come to find out that it was nothing but Minecraft server related stuff. And I'm like, who in the right mind sits a computer outside of a dumpster with Minecraft stuff on it? And I also had a friend who worked at a thrift store who sought a computer.
Someone upgraded. A co-worker of mine when I was working lived in an apartment complex, and someone tossed out an Athlon, an AMD Phenom X6. And it turned out son had pissed off the mother to the point where she just took his personal computer and chucked it in the bin.
Dang.
It's a waste of money. I mean, delete it all and sell it. Sell it. Make the kid watch you while you sell it for money and take the money and buy something you want.
Don't sit it outside.
It was also amusing too because the person who got it was my supervisor, one of the IT supervisors at the federal government office that I worked at, and he has an A+ certification and all that jam. But the thing is, he hadn't renewed or studied his A+ cert stuff because at that time it never expired. There were connectors on that machine. He did not know what the SATA port was. It was alien to him. He looked at that and he had to ask me, "What is that?"
Whoa.
Because he was looking for IDE the whole entire time, and this motherboard did not have IDE. It didn't even have a floppy connector. He did not know what PCI Express was. He was looking for PCI and AGP.
Even I
Crikey.
learned what a
Wasn't looking for
computer was. I
ISA.
had a
Those are gone a
computer that had
long time.
Windows 95 or Windows 98 on it. It had an IBM industrial computer with the key lock cover. You could slide the cover over the front of the computer and turn it with the key lock to lock the sliding cover back and forth. I had that when I was little.
So it was
Oh,
very,
man.
very
Keyboard
interesting, and it's people like the guy that I worked with, my supervisor, that the A+ certification now requires you to go in and renew it, is because of technology advancing so much. That was the first time I ever encountered that sort of scenario.
Oh, and another example I learned is a friend of mine worked at a thrift store. Somebody donated a computer to the thrift store. It was an all-in-one. It had a monitor and the CPU attached to the back of the monitor, like the physical tower mounted to the back, and the store thought it was a monitor. But when my friend got it, he brought it to me and showed me what it was, and come to find out it's an HP all-in-one with a small, slim form factor mounted on the back of the actual monitor it came with directly, and it worked. And there's just one slight problem. The person who last had it did not wipe the drive clean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I had
that's
to
one
wipe
of
the
the
drive clean.
that's one of the reasons why the Goodwills and basically all of the thrift stores in my area no longer, well, most of them don't sell computers anymore because of security concerns.
Yeah.
And there is unfounded FUD going around stating that, oh, your RAM stores things long term and data can be recovered off of RAM. Which is why someone. Yeah, which is absolute bullshit because it's
Yeah.
volatile.
Yeah.
The RAM loses its electrical charge when the computer is shut down for quite a while. It loses charge, but the hard drive doesn't. So the hard
Yeah,
drive is
but-
non-volatile, but the RAM is.
I'm seeing people around here going and taking a hammer to their RAM because they think their RAM's gonna save their information
Whoa.
permanently.
That breaks a computer there.
See, and why do we not learn about this in school?
But the RAM is volatile, so anything that's in it will get lost after the power is lost. But the hard drive is a factor, but the RAM isn't. So the thrift store I volunteered at in Monroe, Georgia, they don't accept computers for donations either because of that same concern. But however, the hard drive saves all that stuff inside, but the RAM doesn't. So the only way you can wipe a hard drive is to demagnetize it, or just shred the drive in an industrial shredder that can really destroy it and make it unrecoverable. So my best bet is
You could recover data
Oh.
from RAM that's been off for
Oh,
a few
what?
seconds,
Business
maybe
is
a minute or two.
Yeah, that is true, but as
See?
soon as the
You
system's
have to be
been
really
off for-
quick. Yeah.
Yeah, there
gotta
is
be-
a time. There is a time window there that for doing that you can get data off of volatile memory. So Mr. Alert's absolutely 100% correct.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
is a
if the
short
RAM has
window of that.
additional. Especially if the RAM has additional capacitors and.
Oh
they're
wow,
set
good
up
going
to
on this
drain.
track. Your melters are deadly.
There's just
Fun, man.
one thing I noticed about copy machines. They also have hard drives in them too that can store sensitive documents in the hard drive of the copy machine too. That's also a data issue where if a copy machine is thrown out, somebody can instantly find the hard drive and find sensitive data in the drive
Yeah.
from the copy machine and resell it.
Exactly. How common is that? 'Cause, I've heard of that.
Mr. Alert, open up the side panel on the HP LaserJet.
Well, I know it
Yeah,
has
our
compact
printer
flash
stores stuff in its
spots on
memory.
it.
Yeah, you've got a
Yikes.
CF card in that thing.
Wait,
My
there's a
printer's
CF
got an
card in there
embedded
right now?
computer inside of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You've got 100-pin DDR RAM in that. I think what?
32 megabytes according to the startup thing.
Yeah, and there's I believe 2 CF slots in there.
And one of them's populated with a card?
Yep,
Could
one's
be.
got a
I
compact
don't
flash in
remember.
there.
I'm talking about the one that I gave to Mr. Lear. I don't
Oh.
actually remember. It's been a while.
Oh.
But
Don't.
My computer, my
It's
printer's a
mostly used for,
HP.
like, printer fonts and stuff, isn't it?
yeah,
My printer's a HP DeskJack 2622 with an embedded computer that acts like a web server on the local network in my home that I can access the printer's internals, but I stupidly forgot the password to my printer's server, so I can no longer access my printer's internal server on the printer itself anymore.
Well,
Well,
there
you
should be
can
a way
just-
of doing
yeah.
a factory reset.
and better yet, there should be a way to change the password in the UI on the physical printer itself.
My printer has no screen to it. It just prints out paper for diagnostics or messages when you install it. There's no built-in screen to it. Period.
There is a way of
Like,
doing it.
Are there
Trust me.
buttons on it?
Yeah,
Yes, there are a series of membrane switches. There's a small little LCD window that tells you the pages, ink status, the HP instant
they're-
ink status.
Okay, yeah,
There-
there probably is like some combination of buttons you press when turning it on to reset everything.
Yeah, there's a way to do that. Trust me, trust me with that, because one of my jams when I was working was managing a full office of printers. We had 42 printers.
How do you do
Oh,
it?
that must have
My
been fun.
my printer requires ink and paper to be installed in order to print out system messages from the printer itself. Without that, it won't print.
You should still be able to access the menu on that little LCD using the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
One slight problem: the LCD is so small that no text can fit in it. Only just numbers.
Well, in that case,
I had
you
I
will
had a
need to.
Canon that had like just a single 7-segment LED type deal. I could still do some basic menu shenanigans with that.
Yeah, and I don't know. You have to go really, really far back to find an HP printer that does not have an LCD that can show you information. I'm thinking you'd have to go back at least 2006 to
I
find a
call
printer
this
that-
welcome to the Tech Savers on Twitch with Tux, Linda, and me as a temporary guest in playing Valheim.
I know we have an HP, I think 8620, and that thing definitely saves stuff in some type of long-term storage memory, because I tried to print out our taxes, and for some reason couldn't print it out, but the printer saved it, even through being unplugged and replugged back in and moved across the room, and then like a couple weeks later, I did manage to connect to the printer, and all of a sudden it woke up and went, "Oh, you have pages to print."
The
And
other
spit
thing
'em all
with
out.
that is your print. It could have still been in your print queue in cups, and when the printer
Yeah.
comes back online, it's stored in cups and will be sent back out
Wait,
Oh,
on the
cup.
on the computer?
on the
Yeah.
computer.
No, okay,
Yes.
because I redid my whole system to Manjaro, remember?
Oh yeah.
I know. Yeah, I already know what CUP stands for. The Common Unix Printing System. That didn't take me long to figure that out.
Yeah, but also, do you know who developed it?
No, I don't.
Apple.
Apple.
Apple developed the CUP system, so
Wait, did Apple develop it, or did they just acquire it? and
They
made
they
OS?
acquired the initial source code for it because they needed the initial work done on it. The initial work was done by Next, but when they
Didn't-
bought Next, they also
Oh,
bought
it was made by Next, huh?
the initial bit. It was not fully fleshed out. It was just it only did LPP stuff. Apple did a whole lot of work. What it is today was done by Apple.
Yep. We wouldn't
I've
have
yet to
printers on
figure
Linux.
out. I yet to figure out how to set up a VNC server on a Linux box because I've learned the hard way that running a VNC server on the internet can result in a cyber attack, meaning someone can get the password sent from your mobile device to your VNC server unencrypted over the internet, and that's when somebody can brute force their way in, which had happened to me once. Oops.
Yeah, so
Well, I mean, if they
read up
capture
on
your-
VNC configuration.
If they capture your unencrypted password, they don't need to brute force anything.
Oh, they
Yeah.
caught the password over the internet sent, and they were able to use it to see inside. I'm like, how? I thought VNC was supposed to be secure connections, not
No,
insecure.
not if you're passing information unsecurely.
Okay.
There are, and it is documented and stated when
See
you
you on Thursday,
launch
Gundistrack.
when you launch the VNC server on the machine.
Have a good
it
one,
tells
Gundistrack.
you, to read the documentation to make sure it's secure.
Oh, I tried through remote. I tried VNC over a VPN, and that worked directly through a VPN server. I have a Windscribe
don't-
VPN, and I tried that, and it worked.
Okay.
The VPN connection worked over. Well, the VNC through VPN worked as long as I used the VPN address of the provider. Make sure it can forward so through the VPN to my local home network over my internet service provider through port forwarding, and I was able to remotely control my computer. But I had to have a VPN running to prevent unencrypted stuff from being caught in the transport. So.
Hey, Daisy, are these stones gonna be in your way?
No, fine.
Oh, and Linda and Tux, have y'all heard
Yeah.
of Parted Magic?
No.
Yeah,
No.
that's a distro, if I remember correctly.
It's a paid distro. It used to be free, but the developer wants to charge $4 a month to make it like a Netflix subscription.
That's
Where
stupid.
That's really
Yeah, the
stupid, yeah.
yeah, the
That's why I got
developer.
away from Windows.
No, it's actually a Linux distro, but there's no point since
Yeah,
you can
but
do
that's why I
everything.
got away from Windows, because I didn't want to go to a subscription.
Well, this
and,
developer.
and just as a heads up, Willie, yes, X11 VNC has the ability not only to do secure SSL links, but you can also set up VNC VPN port forwarding with X11 VNC. So you need to set that up on your end, and if you don't, then you have it insecure. It doesn't do it out of box.
Oh,
you
I
have
would
to
have to
read
learn
up
how
the
to set that up securely and how to correctly do all that, where it connects to a
Correct.
secure tunnel where no one can see what I'm doing over it.
And
And
even if you don't do that level, it still uses a secure SSL link. So the only way someone can see or should be able to see your thing is if you do not have VNC set
I
up
hope this all
with
works.
SSL.
This is gorgeous.
It is. It's really cool.
Interesting.
Nice job, Daisy.
Another
Yeah,
note
good job.
here is I just wanted to also still continue to use Linux, still learn Linux, the ins and
Please
outs of
don't
it. But
collapse.
I did learn Gentoo still, but Gentoo is more like going into quicksand
Should be
for
okay.
me. I have a shorter question. What do y'all think about whole Gentoo or build software on the source?
Oh, actually.
Well, I've used Gentoo for like
There
better
we
part
go.
of a
Yeah.
decade.
But it when I did a first install, it took two days to get it running.
Good luck.
Yeah. Compiling software isn't exactly quick, especially if you're trying to do whole system.
Well, I configure that it's not quick, but I wouldn't mind having Gentoo installed, but only to a point where I have it just where it uses pre-built binaries instead of having to do everything from source.
There are some images available to get you started with Gen 2 quickly. They're like called Stage 4 installations or something.
I think if I remember correctly, Stage 3 had some pre-built binaries,
Stage
but not
3
everything.
Stage 3 is basically a base system. Like just the kernel and the command line utilities.
I did a stage
package
3
manager
install and
stuff.
went from there, but I have not heard of a stage 4. But
It's not
when
an
it,
official thing. It's like no, I don't know much about it because I've never used it, but like some
I've
people
used
release
Mageia
pre-built
Linux. I
images
love
for
Mageia because the fact that it's like Mandriva all over. But PC Linux OS, I don't like it because it does not have Steam in it, since Steam is 32-bit, and PC Linux OS did have 32-bit at one point, but they dropped it. Mageia is my best place to go, so is Debian if I want to do Steam. That's if I want Steam in things like that.
No, pretty much all the main distros have Steam. Manjaro
Except
comes with
PC Linux
Steam.
OS doesn't. PC Linux OS never has it for 64-bit.
And very few people probably use that anymore.
Yeah.
64-bit's only PC Linux OS because PC Linux only allows 64-bit. They've been killed off 32 in its entirety.
Okay, then
Since-
it's not a distro worth using if they're going to do that. I've
Yeah,
gotten
I
into
wouldn't
this argument
suggest that.
because there's lots of software out there, printer drivers, etc. Heck, I'm even running into that issue. I've got a legitimate copy of Uplink, and it requires a 32-bit glute library, and it's not available on Ubuntu or Pop OS. So
Debian
I
allows
can't-
32-bit installs.
I cannot play the game. I don't care about Debian. I'm not running Debian. I'm running Pop OS on one machine, and I cannot play this game that I legally paid for.
Debian I like, but the problem is with
file free glute from source, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably going to be my end. The thing that I'll need to do if I feel arsed enough to play that game,
Steam
or
requires
rebuy the game for what, $4.99?
Well, Steam requires 64-bit now because Valve disabled the built-in web browser on 32-bit installations, meaning you
No,
can
the
no
Steam
longer use.
client is still 32-bit.
But they disabled the browser if you're on a 30. If you install Steam on a 32-bit Debian, purely 32-bit, they disabled the built-in browser permanently. I found out the hard way when I installed Steam. It says that the 32-bit, it says that the in-browser is disabled. When I clicked on the link to see more information, it says that 32-bit systems no longer support it.
And
Only
that's
64-bit.
because they had to update the Chromium backend for Steam, and 32-bit support for the Chromium backend was pulled.
So that's why I use Debian 64-bit to access Steam, or Mageia 64-bit to still get Steam as well, only. I'm a Steam gamer, so I have to have my Steam within my reach. I can go without using Steam, but all my paid games are there, and what's the point of me having Steam if I don't use it?
Yeah, and the other thing is, why would you be running Steam on a 32-bit system anymore, other than just the few rare odd games that are 32-bit? I can't think of any on
really,
at
I
least
don't
on
really
Steam.
run the 32-bit at all anymore. I don't. It's just I tend to use 64-bit purely to gain access to games that require a 64-bit system or something in those areas. On that note, so what do y'all think about the embedded Raspberry Pi computers, like the onboard single board computers?
thing is, I've been dealing with embedded systems for years now, before the Pi was kind of a thing, so I don't understand the direction you're going with the question.
The question is, do you think
Hashtag
Raspberry...
needs more info.
Okay, do you think Raspberry Pis are sufficient for small little projects?
It depends. You can run them now. They're powerful enough now to
define
be run
small
as a
little.
desktop. Yeah.
Like small little, like, IoT, Internet of Things type
Have you
Or
not heard of the
robotics.
Tinsy? Have you not heard of
Mhm.
the Arduino? Have you not heard
Yeah.
of
I've heard of those.
the Qbox? Have you not heard
I mean,
of
the Raspberry Pi Foundation even has a Nano now.
Yeah.
I've heard of those devices, and I'm
they've got
not
the
really...
compute module as well. The market isn't just Raspberry Pi, so.
A guy
and-
like me is not really used to using ARM-based stuff much. I don't mind using a smartphone or a tablet that's got an ARM processor, but I need like a processor that's more just about ARM that can run 64-bit. It can also handle ARM. It can emulate different things, but not
Tweet.
ARM. It cannot. I don't want it to where it doesn't emulate ARM.
That. What?
Let me rephrase that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because yeah, please.
I don't mind having a ARM-based tablet or smartphone that's ARM-powered, but for regular desktop everyday power use, I wouldn't mind having a 64-bit processor that is able to go great, but only intended to run stuff that isn't. That's like run stuff that is meant for 64-bit, not for anything other than 64 or 32 on the same unit.
And
There
it
is a
clear-
64-bit version of ARM, and Raspberry Pi has supported that since, what was it, Raspberry Pi 2?
The Raspberry Pi 2 and I believe the Raspberry Pi 3 are.
Okay,
30.
here's more stone.
Me,
No.
I still
No, the
The
kind
Raspberry
of...
Raspberry
Pi
Pi 3 is
Ooh.
definitely 64-bit.
Definitely
I have
64-bit.
one.
Okay.
I
So the
still
Pi
kind
2 is 32-bit. So there are 64-bit. The other thing is, even like with the Raspberry Pi 3 and 4, what's the point really of using the 64-bit system if you're still going to be limited to less than 4 gigs of RAM? So really the Pi 4 with the 8 gigs of RAM, or even the full 4 gigs versus being clocked down to 3.6, makes a huge difference. It's becoming clear you haven't used a Raspberry Pi or an ARM device, so I recommend picking one up. They're cheap as nails. Try one.
Okay.
Pick up the best, easiest way would be to pick up the new Raspberry Pi 400, which is basically the equivalent of a C64. So it's got the keyboard. All you need to do is add a mouse, power, plug it into a monitor, and be done.
That's fine. I know it's interesting because I want to have that at some point and look at a Raspberry Pi, but I would rather use it to run an MS-DOS emulator on it. The GPIO pins won't make much use to me at all.
In
If
that
you want to
case-
do MS-DOS emulation, there is something that, yeah, I think I do remember seeing like the PC emulator for Raspberry Pi that ran on bare metal instead of on top of Linux.
Yeah, I believe there's a FreeDOS port for ARM.
Speaking of
yeah,
which,
yeah.
I do-
If you
I-
are just running Linux, then yeah, the FreeDOS?
Yeah, there's
I've
an
heard
ARM
of
port
FreeDOS. I've used
but
it before.
I've heard that there are some issues running particularly 8 or 16-bit x86 code.
Well, there's no 8-bit x86 code.
There is a
Definitely
game I
specific.
got on Steam called Retro City Rampage DX. It's like an 8-bit version of Grand Theft Auto, and guess what it's got? An MS-DOS version of the game digitally included in the game files, where
Mhm.
you have an
Yeah,
installable floppy
486.
version, things
Yeah,
like that. Yes, it's got
it's
a
a
digital.
486 SX.
It's got
If
like
you-
a digital file
I've
for the
got the same game.
486 and more. I've got it.
There's even an NES ROM out there that's official as well.
Well, I got
I've
a
actually
486
played.
system here I could play it on.
I
could
got
be
the
kinda
port
awesome.
on Steam that I downloaded. I paid for and downloaded it, installed it, and I loved it. And I found the DOS version in the game files, and I played it in a DOSBox emulator, and it works perfectly with DOSBox or on a physical machine because Lazy Game Reviews or LGR on YouTube has done a video about Retro City Rampage, and even he talked about how the game can be played on a physical 486 or on a DOSBox emulator because the game
Yeah.
has been designed to run on that or a real machine.
And that was kind of the point of the designer to have that limitation.
But that's the only one game I know of that can run on a DOS emulator or a physical machine. I don't know if there's any other games.
There's others. I think 8-Bit Guy has one that currently is designed specifically for older computers. So he's working on
that
Attack
one.
of the Pet Skis or something like that, and then he's got Planet X 2, 3. And I don't.
I've
know
heard
if
of the
there's a Planet
8-Bit
X
Guy and Dan Wood, a guy by the name of Dan Wood from Kooky Tech. He's a UK guy that has done videos of Amiga forever and Commodore 64 forever, I believe. He's done videos about the Amiga software, and that's how he got me into buying Amiga Forever by Cloanto that lets you emulate Amiga on Windows machines. And it also has a bootable version of KX Lite, which is a Amiga-like environment that's Debian Knoppix powered, but it runs in modern machines. It's a bootable Linux ISO that you can use to boot from it. But Dan Wood got me into the whole the Amiga Forever thing. And I always wanted to try Amiga and play with it and see what I can do. And it turns out that I like the Amiga operating system. It's kind of familiar to me, like using a standard Windows machine, but it's different. But I actually like how the operating system interface is kind of like it's GUI point and click. But did you know that the preview guide, known as the preview channel in the early 80s, used to use the Amiga as its default computer for TV guide listings?
Yep. Actually, an older version of it, I think it was just called the Electronic Program Guide, used.
Yeah, the Electronic
old
Program Guide was.
8-bit computers.
It later went to Amiga, and then it later changed to Windows NT because TV Guide brought out Preview, the company behind, which known as Preview First back in the 90s. They basically brought out that and replaced it with TV Guide with an NT computer that would give you the Electronic Program Guide on your cable provider screen through the head end of the cable provider.
Well, I believe for a while, even after Preview was bought by TV Guide, they were still using the Amiga computers for a little while after.
They did, but they later changed it to Pop, and then it later changed to Pop Guide, where they eventually got rid of the on-screen programming guide after a decade. But, however, what I wanted to point out here is just that there's a city in Georgia called Monroe, Georgia, that still uses the Pop Guide to this day. They still use the Pop Guide on their local cable system. Some small municipalities, such as City of Monroe, Georgia, use the local Pop, like the local TV Guide on their cable system on its own city's cable system on some parts of the U.S. It's not everywhere you find.
The Atari ST is, well, at least up until 2016 was still being used for music. Aphex Twin uses one.
And the C64 is still used in the auto industry because there's certain diagnostic tools that don't exist for any other system.
I wouldn't mind using a PowerPC based Mac for some old Mac games or video editing in 2021. The old Power Macintoshes to do some kind of lightweight usage for that.
Have a lot of fun with that. I stopped dealing with that long ago.
I don't
and
get
I've
me
given
wrong.
away all of my PowerPC maps.
I love the QuickTime movie
I have
format,
one.
but I know that
I know.
QuickTime's like
You've got a
obsolete
few.
for Windows. But I used to have a QuickTime camera in 2008. I had like an old Panasonic camera that used QuickTime movie format.
Well, you don't need a Mac to deal with QuickTime videos.
Yeah.
In fact, I've edited a few on my Linux computer just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And VLC also plays them absolutely perfectly fine. Every QuickTime file, except with one little exception, QuickTime reference files. Because if you don't have
Oh.
the backend stuff that the QuickTime reference file is pointing to, then you're basically foobarred.
Well, I love PowerPC just because it's just a processor that can do people may say it's not a good processor, but what can the PowerPC not do?
This is
Uh,
cool.
Well, I mean, they're all Turing complete systems. They can pretty much do anything.
Yeah. Plus
Wow, look at the
the
pillars.
IBM just came out with the Power 10, which has 8 threads per core. So
Here's the thing for
PowerPC still exists and is
for Linda and Tux, or for Linda. I still got PowerPC in my room right now with the Xbox 360 and PS3. Those are PowerPC based consoles.
Yeah.
Let's see, how many?
I mean, I had a
Three
Wii U.
PowerPC-based systems in my room here.
I have a Wii. I had a Wii, GameCube, Wii U. Those are PowerPC. Plus the Xbox 360 and PS3. Those are all PowerPC based. So I've had my exposure to PowerPC a little bit. And someone gave me an iMac G3 Bondi Blue in 2008 with PowerPC in it. I did not know what PowerPC processor it was running at the time, but it used PowerPC in it, and it worked. I could get it online with the internet in 2008 through my broadband cable provider, but not a lot of the websites could work on it because it was so ancient that it could not render all the sites correctly. But I still have like an Xbox 360 Slim and a PS3. They're both PowerPC based. They're just not direct PowerPC. They're using a derivative of that to make them run in console form.
yeah, I know.
Do you need anything else, Daisy?
Oh no, I think that's it
Nice.
really. I don't know what
nice to meet-
else to do now.
Nice to meet Daisy and Mr. Alert.
Mm.
Yeah.
You'll want to put like a wood roof on the exposed area. But
You reckon?
pretty much that
Over
would be it.
over the edge there. Yeah.
Yeah. To protect the stairwell that you're using to jump up.
I
Cool.
figured
Okay.
I also join in
Otherwise,
the
it will
tech
just-
talk and gaming
Otherwise,
talk.
it will just wear. Oh,
Well,
that's
it's
a
stone.
staircase. Okay,
Yeah, it's
never
stone,
mind.
so-
Yeah.
Ignore me. Ignore me. I'm being-
Tux, I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
What makes the live gaming channel inaccessible by regular Discord users?
It's because we don't want anybody just jumping in when we're live.
Oh, so you got to ask permission to join. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Or have
Yeah.
an admin or moderator
Yeah.
go and transfer you. I think that's how what Vin needed to do with someone
With
on
LGC,
the
yeah.
Linux Gamecast. By
Yeah.
the way, a
Well-
lot of the questions and stuff that you're talking about right now, join Linux Gamecast. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's a much, much bigger community for
Yeah.
talking about this sort of stuff.
Yeah, we sit and talk about this sort of stuff all day, don't we? On there.
Yeah, up until the wee hours of the morning on Sundays.
Interesting.
raining.
I actually follow the Linux Gamecast's Twitch channel.
Yeah, if you sub on the Twitch channel, you get access to the Discord. If you become a Patreon, you also get access to the Discord.
Yeah, it
It's not a
automatically adds
public.
you.
Yeah, it's not a public Discord. You have to be a sponsor either via subbing on Twitch or being a Patreon. Otherwise, you do not get access.
I have a Prime I have Prime, so I can use my Twitch subscription once every month. And I know that if my Twitch subscription runs out, it automatically undoes me from the server. I don't think. I don't know if it does or doesn't.
It does. X
This
Salty
is
ended
so
up
cool.
finding that. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it looks amazing. I can't wait to get into the game at some point and rejoin you guys, but I may have a jube.
Linux Gamecast fits for me. They also talk about gaming on Linux as well.
Oh yeah, well that's their main thing, but they also do all the Linux tech news and they do kind of everything really.
Yeah, well,
I prefer
Linux
this
Wiki Daily
particular
Wednesday.
type of Tux. I prefer Tux's channel in Discord. I prefer just because it's not big, not too large.
I wouldn't say that the Linux Gamecast Discord was super
I
huge.
mean,
No.
Clearly it's bigger than Tux's channel. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of, normally there's about sort of 5 or 6 people at any one time gapping away, isn't there?
My biggest concern for joining new Linux communities is inadvertently having clashes with members or like inadvertent like conflicts with people in the community about different views and opinions, just because of the fact that I was in the old GUI Tech Show community that later imploded due to an issue that occurred in the community.
I mean, that kind of risk kind of happens with any social interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
There goes the Toxie fell.
Okay, I probably shouldn't have said what I just said. Oops.
Huh?
So,
Uh,
what do you mean?
The fact that some communities, the issues of like
That's a
toxicity in
cool
some communities.
It is.
Oh yeah,
well, sure.
there's always going to be toxicity in some communities.
yeah, so
That's why moderators kind of exist.
yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Well, I've got no
like,
side
and-
effects so far, so that's good. Apart from the
An
vaccine.
example, right now, one of the servers that I'm on, we've got someone that is messaging moderators and calling them not the worst names in the world, but they're using not so light language, and there may need to be some action taken against this person. But it definitely won't be from me, I can tell you that much. It won't be me.
Oh, okay. I would rather. Yeah, I have my shears. Sorry about that.
That's... Another example that I have is I'm banned from the Ubuntu IRC channel.
Why?
Ah.
Because I used a bad word in the IRC channel. Literally, I said, "This bloody thing isn't working." Banned for use of foul language.
Oh,
Ouch.
yeah. Well,
That's pushing
I'm
it.
not
yeah, that's
just-
pushing it. Yeah, that's really pushing it.
I'm permanently banned.
Ah.
I talked to one of the community managers at Scale, and they said, "Well, you should be unbanned. I can't access it. I'm still banned."
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know. I don't know how the mod banned me, but it seems even the people higher up at Canonical can't unban me.
Huh.
Ah.
So yeah, you're always going to find that sort of stuff in all communities. You need to know how to deal with it.
Well, given the nature of me, having autism is one thing, and people that don't know how to deal with the person that has it is another.
The people that I've had to deal with in the past that are the most difficult are the ones that are schizophrenic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that are semi-functional, but still
Yeah.
do not have a full grasp on reality. Those ones are incredibly difficult. I'll take someone with autism any day, but some of the people that I've had to deal with that have schizophrenia, those ones are difficult. Another example is I've also dealt with people that have Tourette's syndrome. I'll take someone with Tourette's syndrome because at least I know they'll just spontaneously say fuck, cunt, shit, and all these other stuff.
Yeah.
But that can be manageable, at least on one end. But schizophrenia is extremely difficult.
It's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The biggest concern with Linux communities and other communities in general is toxicity or users or things like that. It's like
That's just in communities in general. Just hey, I know we'll just probably leave
Whoop.
this alone with this comment, but politics, that's a community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, look, a shiny object. Distraction. Come on.
sorry about that, Tux and Linda.
I know worries.
Community toxicity is kind of like politics.
Yeah, it is.
I do. The thing with me is the whole Osgo Tech Show community. I remember I was with in 2011, early
This place looks cool.
2011.
Oh, yeah.
That community just went went underwater after a while.
And that happens. The Canopics community is pretty much, other than Canoper keeping on working on it, there is no online community or strong community for Canopics. There's no admin for the once official IRC channel, and there hasn't been since at least 2008. Actually, probably even earlier than that. As long as I can remember, there hasn't been any admin. The Tiny Core community is also, it's not dead, but it's kind of quiet. I'll put it that way. Damn Small Linux is dead for all intents and purposes. There are only certain use cases that I'd recommend Damn Small Linux, and most of those use cases are specific to specific antiquated hardware that's never going to see the internet ever. So,
Oh, there's Pedro.
oh, nice. Gonna raid him after this?
I will do, yeah. Well, I don't
I think Tux and Linda for allowing me to join in on the live gaming one. I know what to do in the future. Ask Tux or Linda if I'm able to join by just giving them a heads up.
Or ask me as well, since I'm one of the admins here.
Mhm.
Thank you, Tux, for allowing me that honor and privilege.
You're banned.
On a side note, I want to ask, could Tux...
What's the stat? Or no, Frostneer. Oh God, he's got Frostneer. Ow!
Couldn't Tux and Linda clarify? Couldn't Tux clarify on the Twitch channel rules? Don't ask to be mod. What does that mean?
Don't ask for mod.
Oh, don't ask to be a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ask to be a mod.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a wise thing to just not do in general. It's
okay. To earn it, you have
Rapid.
to be patient.
to earn it. You have to earn it. Period.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm kind of still the admin on the Discord server is because I kind of set it up and forced it upon
Well,
Texron's
well, there's
ability.
also the fact that, we have actually met up in real life.
There's
Oh.
that too.
Yeah.
So if I met Linda in Tux in real life, that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll just have to come out to the Southern California area Linux Expo at some point.
Huh.
Oh, I mean, I met you guys in real life, and I'm not a mod. I don't really want the responsibility anyway.
Yeah, it's hella stressful.
I just love saying hi to Tux and Linda often, like being like VIP, just pop up and say hello every time and just sit and watch all play Valheim for fun.
Yeah, and just watching really helps. Anyone who
Yeah.
Gunderstrike, Willie, who's one of the other people that sometimes pops in.
Kohler.
Yeah.
I'm just watching, like to watch all play because my computer may not be able to handle Valheim, not without having a good graphics card, without having to rely on the onboard one. A higher end one will be able to run it smoothly, like that. But hey, at least I would ask either Mirror or Tux or Linda to be like, may I join chat and just voice chat and just talk while I'm either gaming or working on my computer, because I won't be able to type if I'm working on my computer from my phone.
Yep. And also outside we've got the open voice chat, so but the Discord's also kind of a new thing, so
The open voice chat I did pop in order to be transferred into this private channel. It's not visible by default.
And the only way I was able to do that is by literally dragging you from the open chat into the live chat. So if you hadn't been in open chat, you would not have gotten in, because there wouldn't have been anything that I could have done to do so.
Well, each time I pop in live chat, or if I ask first and then be in live chat, or what I meant to say is every time I wanted to join, I will automatically ask first, get the yes or no response, and then directly appear in the open chat in order to be transferred into this one.
Yeah, I think so.
That kind of works. It's definitely up to Tux, because yeah, it's Tux's thing.
So how do you think I did today, Tux?
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Nice. Niceys.
Oh, hey Tux, I wanted to let you know I was watching a stream last night, and the person streaming kept on saying, "Oh, easy squeezy, lemon squeezy," and it kept on making me think of the Two Towns lemon raspberry hard cider, which goes by easy.
Well, now
squeezy.
I gotta reset my Windows computer because a public folder is missing.
Oh dear.
That's causing one of my Amiga Forever software to fail to install because it's expecting a public folder to be there. So,
I had an interesting issue last night. So I updated the hard drives that were in the laptops that I gave Mr. Alert. I gave him a couple of older ThinkPads. I tossed them into a desktop, and they've been the OpenSUSE install has been used consistently since version 10.1. We're on version 15.3 right now. So I did an update to it, and I tried SSHing into the machine, and it kept on complaining, saying that the cipher was out of date and insecure. Turns out, in the SSHD config, the Hellman cipher was forcefully enabled, which blocked my ability to use SSH into it and to SFTP into it. That was an interesting exploration last night.
Exploration is figuring out why a public folder is missing, because it's automatically causing it's causing my Amiga Forever program that expects a public folder to be there is missing, which causes it to fail I'm having to automatically tell Windows to reset, but keep all my personal files, but delete all the apps and programs and just rapidly reset the machine.
Oh,
And now it's downloading Windows 10 Cloud.
we have crystals. Is that how you make the frost arrows?
Okay.
They're the frost glands
Remember,
and
Okay.
obsidian.
Yeah.
So the public directories on Windows are
Oh, there we
typically
go. We have some. Yeah.
for things installed on the system to put files that are to be accessible to every user of the system.
Well, that folder's missing because the Amiga Forever is trying to install to a certain system to a public folder that it says see users public, and it says, and it errors out indicating that the folder's missing, so that's why the installer fails. So now I gotta reset Windows to re-put that folder back, and it should work correctly.
Wait, that's why the public folder is missing?
Yes, because I uninstalled Amiga Forever, and then it somehow must have somehow the public folder disappears after I try to search for it in Windows search, and it doesn't show that it's there. So something tells me that the folder is missing, and now I have to reset Windows to put that folder back. And if I reset after that reset's completed, and after I automatically do that, and if the Amiga Forever install works after I reset Windows correctly, then it indicates the public folder was gone.
So for frost arrows, you need 8 wood, 4 obsidian, 2 feathers, 1 frost gland.
And then that'll explain why
Cool.
my Amiga Forever reinstall kept failing.
Oh, we lost someone.
Linda, she's taking a shower.
Linda,
Pooped out.
oh, she's got a
Yeah.
shower.
The-
So what did y'all have for lunch today?
What's this lunch thing that you're speaking of?
food?
As soon as
I
I'm-
ate 6 pizza rolls today, and that's it.
I just had a turkey and cheese roll thing.
I had turkey bacon this morning a little bit. Now this evening will be pork chops baked in the oven with some seasoning.
Yeah, we're gonna have
I-
lasagna this evening.
Sounds pretty good.
I've had just a coffee.
Coffee enough to give you energy to get you going. Boing boing boing.
Yeah.
It's just enough for me to call the auto repair place to figure out what they need, contact some other places, and once this stream's done, I'm not going to eat immediately. I've got some more. I need to get a car.
I'm playing a game
yeah.
called Crystal Quest, a game where you move ships around, or you move a ship around to collect crystals and make it to the next level without getting hit by enemies. So,
If you want a
It's
really fun game that I recommend taking a look at the COVID Relief Humble Bundle. There's
Oh.
some really, really good games in there. One in particular that I was like, okay, this is totally worth the price for me, was Into the Breach. I wanted Into the Breach. It's turn-based. I don't want to. Yeah, grid. A grid game, very similar to XCOM, and the soundtrack is amazing. The game has been well reviewed. There's some other good games in there as well, like Euro Truck Simulator 2, which
That's
I'm
a
a
great
retro
game.
person
Yeah.
just because the fact my computer is able to play the retro games and games from like 2003 or lower, but anything past that point, it's gonna put a little bit of a strain on the CPU fan and
The
make power supply fan turn harder.
probably the
Okay.
graphics, but
2003 considered retro now?
yes.
Yeah,
Actually,
it would be.
2006 is considered retro when it comes to computing.
Seriously?
Yeah, Latro
Yeah.
is retro.
Yeah.
That's
it-
2000. Well, no,
Pretty much
not quite. That's
if you
2007.
Retro is the core series or the core duo series.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get into the core I, that's still not quite considered retro. But just as a heads up, Mr. Alert, in about 3 years, your main computer is going to be retro.
Wouldn't mind having a Core 2 Duo. It's like dual core. It can run 32 and 64-bit. Yes, I had a Dell Inspiron 1525 that was a Core 2 Duo that could do 64 and 32-bit.
Oh,
Things
no.
like that.
Bob.
Don't
Oh, where is
have
he?
a tree fall on your head, Mr. Alert. Oh God.
Is he by the main base or? Oh no,
I
you're.
don't know.
Oh, I'm outside the main base. I'm trying to get some tin.
Okay.
I do love retro arcade
Whoa.
games from 1978 to 1989.
boy.
Those are so classic.
What is the exact graphics card on your main machine?
Me,
Yes.
Intel HD Graphics 4600. It's so good enough to run a Dolphin emulator just fine.
Okay, so you will be able to play Into the Breach, which has a minimum system requirement of Intel HD 3000. So you will be able to play Into the Breach, and you should be able to play another game in that Humble Bundle called Hyperlight Drifter, which requires, I believe, as well an Intel HD.
The video memory on my graphics is 2 gigs of VRAM.
So there's definitely some good games in that Humble Bundle that.
There's just one slight problem. It has its dedicated 512, and it has 2 gigs shared, but somehow Windows I don't know. I don't exactly know where most of my memory is going toward.
Hey, Tux, have you played Undertale?
No, I
And-
haven't even heard of it.
How about you, Mr. Alert? Because it was one of the.
Alyssa played it.
It
I
was
think I've
considered
heard
the
of it.
darling
Yeah.
of indie games for a very, very long time. It
Oh
was.
yeah, it's a pretty good game.
But there's just one question though. It's hard to
Yeah,
tell where
it's
most of
alright.
my system memory is being used or being stolen by programs on my computer, to the point where A, it may steal some more, causing a problem where the game may freeze, but the computer works fine when I close the game, or B, I don't know if the amount of memory is being allocated to the video part of it or not. It's hard to tell where it's going.
The video part should be easy because you can find that through your BIOS. You can literally set it through the BIOS.
Mine
Plus,
has the
there's-
unsettable kind where I cannot set the dedicated amount. It's locked to 2 gigs, but my computer's 8 gigs of RAM, but only 2 gigs for video memory, 512 dedicated for the graphics itself, 2 gigs shared, and then the rest of the 7 gigs is thrown toward Windows or Linux, whichever one I use.
Are you absolutely sure your Intel integrated graphics? I'm sorry, but the graphics is in the processor itself, and the processor doesn't have dedicated on-chip video RAM. So,
When I looked
well,
at the
there's
system
the-
board,
Well,
there are
the
two
newer ones have like that EDRAM stuff.
yeah, but the 4600 is Haswell era, and I
Oh yeah,
literally
the
have.
older ones don't.
Yeah, so I
Oh.
don't think that has dedicated video RAM.
it has
is
500.
using-
It
it
has
is
512 megabytes of dedicated and 2 gigs shared, which Windows Task Manager reports.
That may be 512. Okay, Intel has done some really weird stuff in the past.
Because mine, like the 512 is coming from the dedicated, but 2 gigs is being pulled from the system memory directly. It's being literally pulled from that department, and obviously I could notice a graphics performance thing when I'm running an intensive game. What's going to happen is some older games will run smooth, but newer games will
The
not run as
Intel
well.
4600 HD has no dedicated graphics, period.
Mine
None
has
whatsoever.
dedicated
Nope.
RAM,
Nope.
but the
It's
Mhm.
dedicated from the system RAM. And then there's a flexible amount that can be pulled when the demand is needed. And that is on typical systems, you can set that manually.
Mine does not have that option to set it manually.
Well, yeah, a lot of pre-built systems have
Yeah.
really terrible IOs.
But the literal graphics chip is actually on your CPU itself for the HD 4600, and there's just not enough room for the additional dedicated RAM on the chip itself. So
I took apart my
it is using the onboard memory controller that's on the CPU to access the system RAM.
It's the
And
fact that I took the lid off my computer and I saw two heat sinks. One is a smaller one, which is the Intel graphics one, and the
nope,
bigger one is the C.
That
no,
would
it's
be
not.
that'd be the chipset of them.
Yeah, that's the chipset.
Okay, I was like, why are there two heat sinks there?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
chipset.
chipsets get hot nowadays.
It's to the point where on the newer Ryzen systems, they actually have to put an active fan on the chipset. But quite literally, your graphics chip is in the processor itself.
Mine shares two built-in units. The processor in mine is automatically removable, but there's a secondary chip that has a built-in heatsink, has no fan on it, but the main fan is in the power supply and CPU. That's the only two fans I can observe. So I'm puzzled.
That's gonna be the chipset.
Yeah.
Actually, on really old systems, the chipset is what had the integrated graphics on it. But for the last decade or so, it's been on.
Mine's a small form factor unit that has room.
With going to what Mr. Alert said. So before the Core I series, the memory controller was not on the processor itself, and neither was the graphics. So there was a north bridge and a south bridge. And in modern systems, you only actually have one of those chipsets on the physical motherboard itself. I don't remember off the top of my head whether it's a north bridge or the south bridge.
Probably the equivalent of a south bridge.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So that's why on some older systems they have two, especially if you have something like a Core 2 or Core Quad or older. And also AMD as well, but I don't know at what point AMD started having the memory controller on the processor itself.
Around the AM2 era?
What has me stumped about computing is to tell whether a computer... Right. It's hard to tell whether a computer has integrated graphics or dedicated RAM for dedicated video memory or shared.
You cannot get that information from Windows because Windows will not tell you.
I don't know how you'd be able to directly obtain that.
GPU-Z would be one way. You'd have to get some software. So GPU-Z would be one to check out. There's I'm forgetting because I don't use Windows much, but GPU-Z is definitely one, at least for graphics. And I know how to do it in Linux via the command line.
Okay, I will might as well end the stream here. I think we've done everything we wanted to do.
That's very fun and all. I've had fun talking to the whole entire people about technology, and I'm sorry if I made Gundistrack hungry. Oops.
and you scared Sorcerer Zero away. Oh God, oh no! She had to go get a beer.
Oops.
I was just looking here over the wall. That area would make a lovely harbour.
Mm-hmm.
possibly. Before
Thank
the
you
bridge.
to everyone, including Mir, Shay, or not. Oops, I meant to say Tuck. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay.
I meant to say Tux and everybody.
Yeah,
And
no
thank
worries.
you for allowing me to at least join in on voice chat.
You're welcome. And thank you for that
appreciate
too.
Yeah, no worries.
Uh,
No, go on.
Thursday.
Yeah,
What's on the docket for Thursday?
Latro on Thursday.
Amazing.
My dog's barking in the background at something. He's a Shih Tzu poodle. It's overly sensitive, like an alarm that will bark at anything that comes up. So so I'm excited for Thursday stream, but what days do you stream again?
And Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Okay, so Fridays are your day off.
Yeah.
Weekends,
Wednesday
but
too.
Wednesday as well. But I will be able to watch the stream Thursday if I wanted to. I could try to jump into voice chat by asking Mir first, or asking Tux, either one of y'all.
Yeah, we normally don't do voice on Latro though.
Oh, not
So,
for Latro, but I
no.
love doing the Valheim option, even though I don't have the game.
Yeah. But you can hop into there's an open chat that you can hop into any time as well. And if you hop over to LGC, they have an open chat on all the time as well.
Thank you.
And there's always loads of people over there.
Oh, thank you. So the LGC is by which one?
Linux Gamecast
Oh.
Weekly. So, and I'm
That's
going to raid them.
interesting.
I'm going to raid them now because Pedro is live.
Awesome.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
So let me just get out of here. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching, following, and subscribing. And I'll be back at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time Thursday with some Latro. So have a fantastic rest of your day. See you later.